What is up, guys? Today we're taking a look at 5 off-meta builds that seem ridiculous but actually work, and I'm talking about working even in diamond games. This is a video with Pro Guide, so thank you to them for helping me to edit this. You can check their stuff down below where I have a few AD carry guides of my own. As a disclaimer at the start of this video, yes, all of these builds work in diamond, but just do everyone a favor, okay, and test them out in normal games first. No feeding and saying, well, Fi told me it works, so it's his fault, not mine. The first one is actually one I so badly want to make a whole video about, talking about why it's great, but for now it's here, the good old Kogmaw jungle. There are 2 reasons for smite anyway, even in a lane or something like that. So Blood Razor is 4% max health damage, which is on hit, and it applies fully with your super fast autos in turret form. The other thing is challenging smite, so it's dealing true damage but reducing their damage to you by 20%, which makes it really effective for just standing there and auto attacking. Your W gives you a decent clear anyway because you attack so fast, but you will have to ward a little bit early for like invades, like a Lee Sin or something you're going to have a little bit of trouble against. Thankfully those guys aren't around as much either, but we're really looking for like the mid to late game. So Runes is going to apply that Blood Razor damage to all 3 targets. Your Rage Blade, when you get that, works with Blood Razor. So it's 4% on the first auto attack and then 8% on the second. 12% per 2 autos is insane. Add in like a Wit's End, that's 40 per hit, 120 for 2 hits with Rage Blade. It also reduces their magic resist. Even Blade the Ruined King is going to be ridiculous here. You're not exactly the best ganker, you're more like the old Devourer junglers, kind of farming up a little bit, get a few items, and then you're going to start to actually jump in and kill everyone. In a way, it is actually good for you. Like, you avoid the early weak lane phase, right, where people are going to punish you. You farm up, and in theory, it's much harder to stop you getting your items. Plus, Blood Razor is cheaper, so we can get that a little bit easier. The downside is the team kind of loses out on having a jungler like normal. Like, they don't have as much gank pressure, you're not going to have as much early damage or team fighting or engage, whatever it's going to be, your team is going to be without that. Legit though, honestly, like Smite Kogmaw is pretty broken. That Blood Razor damage is so much with your turret form W, and it's hard to fight with the 20% damage reduction. It seems ridiculous, but it does actually work. I've been testing Blood Razor on lane Kogmaw, and that is insane as well. So this next one, a friend of mine was playing, and he messaged me on Facebook and said, hey, this thing actually works, and I just thought he was crazy, honestly, but turns out actually is pretty good. Taking Amumu into the top lane is similar to like a Zac top, right? Similar jobs anyway, and Amumu is so useful even with just a few items, even if he gets behind. He has good base damage, yes, that lockdown, but really just a ton of crowd control. It's kind of the same deal as like a Fizz or an Echo, high base damage while building tanky still. The thing is, building tanky is actually better on Amumu. So Sunfire into like an Abyssal, right? Similar to Visage, but more aggressive, and it kind of works for 2 different reasons. The first one is that all of his abilities are close range and magic, which makes the aura perfect for him, but actually having their MR reduced means that Sunfire does more because that is magic damage. Plus, actually, your passive is kind of like a mini Abyssal aura. It reduces their magic resistance by 15, 20, and 25 for 3 seconds on a basic attack. So together, they're reducing so much magic resist. Not only is your Sunfire doing more, your abilities are doing more, even a Thormail late game is doing more. So prolonged fights with the Amumu are way more punishing than people think they are. It's literally just like a Maokai or Echo, some good damage and more AoE lockdown. The only downside is a bit weaker early and less mobility, but you can actually take this cheese to another level and take Ignite top lane. No one is going to expect the early Amumu kill pressure. Your TP ganks are good with your ultimate and Q to catch people if you do take TP, so both of them are going to work. Like, your lane phase is decent, your team fights though are amazing. Your build is very flexible, honestly. Like, you can build more magic resist if you need that, more armor, more damage with like a Rylai's. All of these things are going to work, and you can swap at any time. He is just very hard to deal with as an AD carry. One tank that does not fall off, especially with a Thormail. We're actually going to be sticking with the top lane for the next one as well, because honestly I find this hilarious. There are constantly posts on Reddit about this, but yeah, top lane Blitzcrank. There are a few high elo people who still actually do this a lot and make it work. I can tell you that nobody has any idea what's going on when a Blitz top is smashing a Renekton. Actually, he has a very good kit to be a bruiser. This is not a new thing, by the way, it's just uncommon now. It's been around since he was released. So think of like a Blue Ezreal, but tankier and a robot. That's kind of how this works. Manamune and Iceborne are going to be your first 2 items. You have decent damage, mana regen, burst, and you actually scale into the game. Your Q does good damage, so does your ultimate, but your E knockup does 100% of your AD as bonus damage, which is crazy strong. Remember as well that even though we're using our W mostly for speed as a support, it gives us 30% attack speed rank 1 up to 62% rank 5, which is going to make us use all that damage even more. We're getting a Warlords or a Grasp, a harder lane, sustaining through our autos, and lane we can actually win, but more likely we're just going to survive earlier until we get some items, hook when you get a gank to set it up, hook, knock up, ult for a slick burst trade as well. Team fights, you can just grab someone and actually kill that person. You can do whatever your team needs. If they need you as like a split pusher, get a phantom dancer, a visage for more team fight sustain, righteous glory to go fast. When you attack this fast and your Mura mana is actually transformed, you honestly do so much damage and it is a lot of fun. Alright, so the next one is an AD carry. The one I actually normally play on stream when someone says play something random, because secretly I know it actually works. To be honest, Ahri AD carry has always been okay. Her kit is decent on an AD carry type champion, but it's probably a bit better in season 6 now. Attack speed is normally the way to go on random picks. They don't have their own steroid like a Tristana Q, and they don't have any AD scaling ability, so there's no real point stacking crit or attack damage. Further actually helps with this whole idea a lot with this like attack speed stacking thing, which is why I think season 6 random builds are a little bit better on these AP champions, but mostly we just want to make her auto attacks hurt as much as possible and use their base damage early. Anyway, so Ghost Blade is a solid thing to start with. Attack speed, some AD and armor pen. Triforce, now that's been changed, is heavy attack speed, which is great, sheen damage and even a bit of AP, which is nice. Blade of the Ruined King is the same kind of idea, better at dueling with the active attack speed and percentage damage for tanks, which is one thing we're not very good at getting through. More is pretty good for the AD, armor pen and the shield to stop burst, and let's round it out with something like a Bloodthirster or Last Whisper, AD, life steal and armor pen. So when you're ever going to take something random and play it as an AD carry, you kind of need to look at their kit. So for Ahri, like her Q is a good heal, sustain and wave clear as well. It's also kind of nice speed up as well to kite with. Your W can get you Sheen procs at least, but otherwise kind of a bit useless. But her charm to catch people or stop them attacking you for a bit for a better duel is really good. Like an enemy AD carry jumping at you, you can charm them, attack them while they're doing nothing. Your ultimate as well to round it out, like, is the easiest kite of my life as an AD carry. You jump around and it's just so hard to catch you. Most of these picks when we're doing this are kind of just useless and get blown up instantly late game. But you know, honestly, Ahri doesn't even do that bad mid to late game. She's not going to be doing the most damage ever, but combined with her abilities, she does have a decent chance to do well at least. It's not one of those like stomp early or lose picks. She has a chance to do well, but saying that, obviously I would much rather have a 6-item K on my team than Ahri, so I mean snowballing is probably the best bet. Okay, so last one. This is probably the most legit pick on this video. Like, it's been used in the LCS a few times, I think, or at least one time in the EU LCS that I remember anyway. So Nocturne mid plays like an assassin, like another Zed or a Talon, that kind of deal, because his AD scaling is so good. Your passive is 120% total AD, your Q is 75% plus 55 bonus AD while standing on it, and your ultimate is 120% bonus AD. This isn't even counting his W that gives us up to 40% bonus attack speed permanently. And to give you an idea, by the way, Q is 240 base damage rank 5 and your ultimate is 350 damage rank 3. With like 250-ish AD and ratios, that's about 1100 damage with 2 abilities when you ult on someone and use your Q. That's not counting any auto attacks or anything like that. Not bad for something instant you can't dodge. Then we have the utility side of things as well, like your ultimate that means they can't see anything, a 1 second fear that scales up to 2 seconds, a spell shield and even the speed up. To be honest, the reduced vision lasts 4 seconds, okay? You'll probably have killed someone by the time the rest of the team can see anything. It's not just super late game either. Damage is really good with just a few items, like your Ghost Blade, your attack faster, AD, armor pen for burst damage. All you really need is snowball actually. The reason we're taking him mid is because he's really good at roaming with his ultimate. He can push mid lane mages and ult fear them. So hard to escape and actually like survive that. You have a good early game and burst mid game, like just another assassin really, but something a bit different. Same deal as them though. You want to get a bit of a lead and roam around killing everyone before they can recover. We also get more gold than in the jungle, which means more damage and more items, but that means more to us because of those high AD ratios. So that wraps up this video, and I know we normally focus on the top tier stuff on this channel, but I just wanted to highlight a few odd picks that are genuinely good and show you can have some actual fun with your builds. If you enjoyed this kind of thing and you want to see some more, let me know. Leave any of your random picks in the comments, and if I use them, I'll definitely pop your name up on screen with the comment. Anyway, thank you again to Pro Guides. Remember to like, subscribe, comment and share, but for now let's go to the robots.